Welcome back to the V4 Vanilla server, and as you can see, we are over at spawn today to start things off. And man, I feel like Batman standing up here on top of the little bell tower that we built. But it is certainly a nice view behind us of spawn, and also in front of us we get to check out Watt's awesome honeycomb mini game, and that is why we are here today, not for more honeycomb, but to build our own mini game. It is about time that we made some mini game contributions to our nice little community here around spawn. And of course, we want to bring the Golem game to V for Vanilla Season 6, as we have in many of the other seasons. So what we need for the Golem game is, of course, something that's not plains. So we can either use the forest over here, or the taiga back here. It might be pushing a little too close to, non-minigame territory. Oh, looks like there's some other build going on over there. But I was thinking there is a random patch of forest over here in the middle of this plains. Yeah, right here where we're coming up on it. See a couple trees, you see the color of the grass changes. This seems like it will be a good spot. Now, if you aren't familiar with the Golem game, it is an incredibly simple game designed not for any type of complex minigame mechanics, but more as just a way to promote some fun interactions and, maybe do a little gambling on the side here. But if I build a little like mini replica here, imagine each of these squares on a larger scale, 4 by 4, 5 by 5, something like that. You have 4 teams. Each team gets their golem. You set them all off at the same time. 3, 2, 1, go. And whose ever golem fills their area first. This guy did it. He is the winner. This team takes home the winnings of whatever the players have chosen to bet. That's simple, right? I just built this thing in whatever 30 seconds. You can see it's designed to be a nice and quick 15-minute build, and you can, make it look really fancy if you spend 15 minutes on it. But of course, I have decided this time to take a little bit more complex route. I'm going to attempt to build this game and have it automatically detect which golem covers the ground first, and then, which team should win, etc., and so on. So, yeah, I'm taking the simplest thing I can and making it way too complicated. This might get a little rough, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, let's check out where we're at on this mini game. You can see we have quite a bit built already, and yes, we have a beacon too. Yeah, did we? Did we do it? Oh, man, we're floating. Did we give Watt our head? Nope, still my head. I'm keeping it. But I did go and buy a beacon from Watt, so, still good for him. But yeah, we've got the basics of the game down here. Like we saw last time, this is really all you need to play. 4 squares, and that's, the simple version. That's it. You even got the little piston 3, 2, 1, go, and you launch the snowman off. You can automate some water dispensers to clear and do a reset. And that's as fancy as we've gotten when we have built this in the past. But not this time. This time we're going a little bit more underneath. So you can probably figure out how this works, but I'll walk through it anyway. I guess we'll go back up top. Sure. So up top we have all the grass blocks. Now, the grass is important. It does need to be some type of grass, dirt, puzzle, something that when the snowman goes over it, the block itself actually changes. It doesn't just put a snow layer on top. Like in the past, we've had wool here to denote 4 different color teams, if you will. But now we need something where the state of this block will change from grass to snow when the snowman goes on it. That, of course, is an update that can be observed by the observer there. And then the target block underneath is used to direct this signal into the dropper. If you don't have the target block, then a single observer output can trigger multiple droppers, but we want each dropper to be only directly controlled by the observer and block directly above it. So once in each block state obviously can only change one time. Once it gets covered with snow, if the snowman goes over it again up top there, then it's not going to change again. It's just going to be snow and stay snow. So each dropper can output something one time. Now, you can see we've got a couple holes in there. Maybe we can, this corner piece doesn't have a dropper. That's where they all start. So we don't really need that one. And then we have one more hole right in the middle. So actually, technically, to win this game here, we don't need to cover the middle block, but usually they end up doing that every time anyway. And that is because this comparator, the signal strength between an output of 1 to 2, changes at 23 items. So if we have 22 items in here, it's going to be outputting a signal strength of 1. But once we hit that 23rd item, that's when we'll trigger the second block, which will then fire off both of these pistons. That's kind of the, hey, you hit 23 things. That means that all 23 droppers up there have fired. The whole area must be covered with snow, so you win the game. So once 23 items are filled, this wins. This is the win scenario. So both of these pistons are triggered. This redstone block comes over here to unlock our hopper and flush out all of our items because they're not needed anymore. And then this is kind of the win switch. This circuit here is tripped, which goes up to the top to turn on some lights that we have along the edge of our game. When you win, the lights turn on, and then also fire off some fireworks. So let's see what that looks like if we simulate a win condition here by dumping in some items. It doesn't really matter how many, so we'll just throw in what we got. And as soon as 23 of them hit that hopper, then the lights should turn on because that will be, yay, you won! And then we get some fireworks, woohoo! Blue team wins! So we'll have to get some nice colored fireworks for each of our teams there. But yeah, that's what we have so far for each of these, 4 times because we can have 4 different wins. But there is obviously a lot more to it because each of the little blocks, each team needs to be able to talk to the other teams. So, yeah, this guy won. That's great. We need a reset switch to be able to push him back over there and to be able to push him back over there so we can do this all again. You can see that, the items flushed out. So we need something to do with these items once they're out, like burn them in lava, dispense them somewhere because we don't need them in our system anymore. And we need to be able to, like I said, talk to each of the other components. So as soon as, say, blue team has won and the items get dumped, then we need to also dump the items out of each of the other hoppers. And then, there's more we can do too, as far as, signaling who wins, and maybe if you in each color inputs an item into a chest that they, want to bet a diamond block, then all the items end up in whichever color wins. I think we can work something like that out. So there's definitely a lot still to be done. Um, it gets really busy. I have this mostly designed out in creative, and there's a lot of redstone everywhere. That's why we got the beacon, because we got to do a whole lot of digging over here to get all these lines, going back and forth and all around in circles and everywhere. So I got a lot more still to put in, but hopefully this gives you a general, basic overview of how this is all working. Well, we are moving right along here over at the minigame, and we are back with our next circuit of the game complete, and hopefully you're ready to test out, and that is the reset button. So, what we have coming out of this button, at least for now, we'll be resetting other things that aren't built yet, but for now, we have a couple things that our reset does. It goes along and talks to each quadrant to reset each individual system, but we'll take a look here. Now I'm taking kind of the easy way out. We talked about the collection system and each of our kind of win scenario things a minute ago, and I mentioned that it would be nice to have it so that if one system won, then it would talk to the other components and kind of dump out each of the other locked hoppers, but we're not going to do that. It's just only going to be reset from the button. So let's move over here where it's a little bit cleaner because we don't have the button coming down. You can see that this is our reset line, and it does two things when it comes to each of the quadrant. It hits this piston, which is our win trigger. So say this quadrant 1, it turned the lights on, shut off the fireworks. When you press the reset, the lights get turned back off. And then it also kind of artificially triggers our win piston over here to unlock the hopper and dump out any items that have been collected by our hopper system from the droppers. So this reset line goes around, it talks to each of the 4 quadrants, and then it comes down here where we have a timer, so that after a while, I don't know, maybe it's like 30, 40 seconds or something, once these items go back and forth, it hits a monostable circuit, so that it will trigger 1 pulse out to each of these 4 I don't know, towers in each quadrant, and that flips back our hopper lock to again relock the hoppers so that we are ready for the next round. So our reset both serves to push this over here to dump out the items, and then after the items have emptied, it pushes it back so that the hopper is locked and ready for the next round. Now that's one kind of piece of the reset. And then the second piece of the reset, where is it? We gotta go all the way back around. Here we go. The second piece of the reset comes down here, and this is a kind of timer delay loop so that we are sending out 2 different pulses. We have 1 pulse that goes out right away, and then another pulse that makes its way slowly around the chain and then goes out again. So we have our 2 pulse, I don't know, system here, and then we have some leaf redstone. We have the leaves up way up there with an observer underneath our dispenser up at the top. The leaves, of course, detect a, uh, the observer detects a block change in the leaf because the wood moves within its range. So that sends out a signal to our observer up at the top. And what that does is send out some water buckets to flush our system right in each of these dispensers. So I think we can do a little bit of test right now. We're not all the way built, but we can kind of see how this might go once we finish up doing some building. Each of these quadrants gets their golem. We turn it on. They all get locked in there. Maybe we do some more. They run around. We hear lots of empty droppers firing right now because there are no items in there. So I guess we can't really do a full test right now. But if we... Whoa, hey, you! Get back down there. Alright, fine, you get 2. These guys are getting rowdy. We better shut them in there so they can't hop out. Where'd this guy go? Oh, man, he's on the run. No, do not want you make... You made it out too! These guys are going to be making a mess everywhere. Alright, so we got 2 in there. Okay, let's go hit this button and see if the water part of this works. We can't really test the rest of it right now without items in the system. There we go. We fire the water once. We fire the water twice. We have to do it twice. You could see there was a snow layer left over there. Sometimes 1 water bucket is not enough to kill these golems, and especially clear all the snow. But with 2 waves of water, that's why we had the kind of delay 2 trigger system down there. With 2 waves of water, it consistently will both kill the golems and clear any remaining snow layers every time. So we're good there. I think it worked. Our reset system is done. We're ready to move on to the next step. We have the next little piece of our game done, and I think that means we may be functionally complete here. Clearly, still some building that needs to be done, but I think we are ready to give this thing like a full-scale test. First, let's talk about what we just built, and that is the gambling betting component of the game. So before we had the whole system rigged up to detect the grass turning to snow, figure out who actually wins the game. And now we have a system in place where people can bet whatever they want to bet in each of the four teams. And then whoever wins all of the betting inputs will end up in the winning team's shulker color. So if we look at what's going on underneath, there's a whole lot of new stuff that looks complicated, but it's just a lot of simple pieces that are all tied together. So each of the colored wool here is like the win switch. Um, First of all, we have we have the input. So the input for each of the chests comes down these hoppers and gets collected by a minecart after first detecting that an input has been received and turning the light on. That's the light we saw on the floor upstairs. And then all the inputs get collected in this minecart, hopper minecart that's traveling back and forth here. And then depending on which color wins the game, so let's say blue wins, this is the win tower here that goes up and turns on the lights, shoots off the fireworks. You can see, like we talked about last time, when the hopper reaches the 23 items to move this comparator output to 2, signal strength of 2, then it's going to shoot this piston over, ignite the tower to trigger the win condition, and now this also branches off this way. We follow the blue along. It's going, whoop, I can't quite jump up there. But you can see that the blue is going to push over that redstone block, which will unlock our blue hopper down here underneath the minecart. So all of our items that are in the minecart will go into the blue stack. And if we come down here, then they will end up in this dropper eventually. Anything in this dropper, will be spit out and shot along the water stream and end up in the blue hopper up on the top. So, I think that covers it. That's the changes underneath here. Oh, we do also have a item dispensing system at the end of each of our quadrants. Um, so we had this is our counter items. They end up in this dropper and they get spit out. Eventually I'll probably put some lava in here so that they will all get burned. But right now they're just flying out. Um, so if we head back up top, we can collect our logs that should hopefully be in a blue shulker box over here, right about there. There we go. Ooh, bonus piece of grass. Okay, sure, I'll take it. The rest should be empty. Okay, now let's give this thing a little run. So we can pretend that each of our four teams wanted to gamble one block of diamond. I guess we'll hit a reset on this thing before we get started, just in case. I don't know. Did I put one in here yet? Nope. And then green gets one, and purple gets one. Now they're all just sitting in there, just in case you accidentally shift click in something that you didn't mean to. You got to push the button to flush it through. Each gets their own push. If you have multiple items, you'll need multiple pushes because it's only going to take like 1 or 2 items at a time. Turns on the light to signify that a bet has been received, and then we are ready to run the game. Now, I guess ultimately I'll put a chest up here with a bunch of snow and pumpkins. Whoop, we're going to need that piston, thank you very much. So that people will have the ingredients ready for them up here. We get our 4 golems ready to go, launch them on out of here, and in the interest of time, we are going to give each team 2 golems. Ooh, blue's off to a mighty fine start there. Oh man, maybe we don't even need 2 golems for them all, but they get it anyway. Okay, blue and orange both pushing off strong. Green's doing a little bit of work over here. Purple, almost identical to green. Ooh, there you go. Oh, he stopped short. Not quite make it to that corner. It could come back to hurt him there. Orange doing some repeat business. That's not good. Let's see what else we have. Green with an interesting U-shaped pattern. Not the most effective coverage. Blue taking care of that lone square. Ooh, orange is very close. That corner could be a difficult one for them to cover over there. Let's see how it goes. Purple's on the move. Oh, so close. Purple, 1 block to go. Can he pick it up? He got it. All right, so purple should hopefully trigger a win. There we go. We get our fireworks. We had the light turn on. Yes, the snow does start changing back because of the lights, but that's fine. All that matters is that purple won first. Subsequent wins, that's fine. They'll go ahead, but the winnings have already been collected by purple, hopefully. So then if we go and push this reset button, it will dump all of our hoppers. Nobody else will do any more winning. We'll flush it twice with water to clear up all the golems as well as all the snow. That looks good. And if we come down here, I believe it was purple. Should hopefully, aha, 4 blocks of diamond for Team Purple. That is great. Now there is one minor problem that I may be running into underneath that I want to go check out. And that is the reset seems to not want to clear it. Yeah, look at this. I just don't get it. Um, the reset, none of these reset except for, who is that down there? Green. Did green shoot off? I don't know. But when this reset redstone block is getting pushed down, it should, where's this going? This is going here. Is it also hitting orange? Is that the problem? Does this line trigger the one underneath it? That could be an issue. But it should be flowing along this way and then hit our block right here, and it should push out both of these pistons, but it seems to not be happening on the first push. But yet, if I go and push the reset button again, it seems to work just fine. This is the weirdest thing. For some reason, it is requiring 2 presses of the button that does the exact same thing. Now if we look, yeah, see, this time it worked. This time these pistons did indeed fire and push back over. So I am super confused. Yeah, this is, oh, you know what? I think that when I reset it, there are too many items from clearing the water. So this chain here is still on, so it can't push the block back over. Okay, so that means we need. We could just put a loop on this so it gets triggered again, like a second time after a little bit of a delay. We could try to empty the items out of here sooner. Yeah, I've got some work to do, but you can see we are pretty much almost there. This thing worked for the most part. Just need a little bit of help on the reset, need some help on the aesthetic side. Get a little walkway up to the front, maybe a book with some like how to play rules and a place to put the ender chest or a bunch of ender chests on each side. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. Really close to being all the way done. Test run number 2, we'll take it from the top, but really, give me my redstone back. Really only concerned with how the reset's gonna work, but we'll run the whole thing again. Why not? And they're off. Here we go. Ooh, blue's off to a big lead. They got that diagonal in. That's a key move. Ooh, green taking the lines. Ooh, green's looking pretty good there. Purple making some moves. Orange a little bit slow on the start. Oh, that's a big move for green. Just 3 squares left. 1 square to go for green. Can anybody challenge them? Blue. Ooh, blue's trying. Blue and green right there, both 1 move away. Is it blue? Oh, just missed. Blue's got one more shot. Can they? Oh, they're fighting against each other. Not good teamwork out of the blue corner. Let's see if orange can make anything happen. Ooh, purple trying, but still a long way to go. And green takes the win. Now let's see if this works. Okay, so green won. You know, we're going to let this run for a little bit just in case we don't get a reset right away. We got a lot of items building up and all of the each of the hopper, banks, we get the reset. So this is going to make a ton of items created from lots of block updates as our snow gets erased off of each of the grass. You can hear all our items spitting out. Let's see if this reset worked. Let's go see if it worked. This is all I am concerned about. Come on, did we get a reset to work? Do we have 4 locked hoppers? I see 1, 2, at least 2 locked hoppers. And around on the other side? Yes, all 4 of our hoppers are locked. I think this reset worked. This is the new line we have here. So coming, this line is now redundant, but I'm not going to remove it. I'll just leave it in there. So now our reset is delayed. When the redstone block reset drops, this signal now branches off right here, goes through a nice long delay from these repeaters, and then we'll trigger our reset blocks over here. So that seems to do it. Give it enough time for the win signals on each of the wool blocks to dissipate so that we can push back our redstone block and get a good reset. Yes, the reset is still coming here. Like I said, this line is redundant, but I'll leave it in for now because it doesn't hurt anything. So I think we're good. We got this all worked out. I guess we should go ahead and check. We did put money in here. Did it all come out? Yes, it did. Green got the win. Green gets the money. Oh, yes, it works. It works. Now let's make it look good. Okay, so I went with like a stone and nether brick theme here. I don't really know why. Not sure what the inspiration was. We've got like the dropper and furnace um, motif here going on, mainly because I wanted to work in droppers up here to shoot some fireworks, and they do look kind of cool as a building block. An underrated building block, I believe. But anyway, we got the nether brick in here, and I have never realized this about this nether brick, but what's up with this texture? This is ugly. I never want to use this again. Why are there lines in the nether brick? Why does the top of one brick exactly line up with the bottom of the next brick? Why can it not overlap like like a normal brick? This is ugly. It's horrible. Not only are there lines and stripes in your brick texture, you got like faces going on. So you got an eye and a mouth right here. We got so many faces. It looks a little bit more prominent over here. In the single columns, we got a face and a face and a face and a face. So many faces. I guess like so many of the Minecraft patterns. Once you see a face, you can never get it out of your mind. But why does the brick have to line up? Man, that does not look good. Stone brick? Yeah, stone brick is good. Alternates just fine. Regular brick? We don't have any here, but if we come over not too far away to spawn, we see our brick. That's good. You see the top of one does not line up with the bottom of the next. But this nether brick, ugh, man, I just can't get it out of my head right now. I do not like it at all. Ugh, that's ugly. Ooh, it's a spooky spawn for a Halloween atmosphere. Everybody getting in the spirit of the holiday. Yeah, big shout out to Fox for putting all these decorations together. That is no small task to get all this mycelium down and a ton of pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns all over the place. It is looking mighty fine. I think my favorite part is probably the skeletons. That looks really good. But that's going to be it for me today. Definitely excited about the game and glad that we've got it running. Hopefully we can get a big match with some other friends coming soon and make a little diamonds, maybe. We'll see if we got any luck on our side. But yep, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Happy Halloween!